The story unfolds with a hapless female supporting character who finds herself in a new life, where her entire family possesses the ability to read her thoughts. She is transformed into a seemingly useless heiress, and her family can hear her innermost musings. My brother is truly willing to take on the role of a scapegoat? The child within the heroine is not even his. My father's newly appointed director is the male lead, destined to lead the company to ruin. How could my mother sell this stock when it is poised to soar in 10 days? The plot has spiraled into chaos. The male lead has been dismissed and is now unemployed, while the heroine, pregnant and homeless, struggles to find stability. As for me, a mere bystander, I have become the cherished darling of my family, despite being perceived as a failure. I have entered a romance novel titled The Pregnant Wife is the Boss's Heartfelt Treasure, where I have assumed the identity of Su Shengsheng, the family's ineffectual daughter. Described as a beauty whose charm could captivate even the most indifferent, such lofty traits bear no relation to my reality. Instead, I am characterized by my laziness and lack of ambition, a mind devoid of knowledge. But it matters little, for the Su family is destined for an unhappy fate. My brother plays the role of the second male lead, deeply infatuated, yet tragically misled. My father, the chairman, will ultimately see the company become a stepping stone for the male lead. My mother, passionate about finance, possesses a direly flawed sense for stocks, leaving the family's savings utterly depleted. Indeed, the opening act resembles a descent into hell. It is not that I lack effort, rather, embracing mediocrity proves more rewarding. With a bag of snacks in one hand and a tablet in the other, I pursue my favorite dramas, unfazed by the cacophony erupting around me. The living room has morphed into a battlefield of discord. My father bellows in rage.
Su Yan.
If you do not sever ties with this woman, you may as well disown me. My brother stands at the threshold, filled with indignation. Then, disown me. When have you ever considered my feelings? Beside him stands a girl, her gaze cast downward, her eyes swollen with tears. She resembles a delicate flower battered by the storm. With a voice tinged with grievance, she implores, "Uncle, Aunt, it is all my fault, please do not blame Su Yan." Watching the drama is far more satisfying than being a mere spectator to family disputes. I lift my gaze, scrutinizing her closely. Is this indeed the heroine Lin Luoyao? Her exquisitely delicate face bears traces of tears, a red mole at the corner of her eye adding to her fragility. What scene is being portrayed here? As I ponder, my mother mediates, offering gentle words to my brother on one side and my father on the other, until my brother gazes at Lin Luoyao's slightly rounded abdomen, a look of profound concern crossing his face, as if he has made a solemn vow. Father, mother, regardless of your feelings towards Luoyao, I will take responsibility for the child she carries. In an instant, my father delivers a resounding slap. I widen my eyes in shock. Ah, so this is the moment. I cannot help but silently critique. Is my brother truly resolute in taking on this burden? Does he not realize that the child within Lin Luoyao is not his, but belongs to the male lead? A rift with the family, toiling endlessly to raise the child until the age of 3, only for Lin Luoyao to seek out the child's true father. My own brother, a romantic fool, is one thing, but a cuckold is entirely unacceptable. Suddenly, the atmosphere grows silent. My brother's eyes widen, caught between words, yet unable to express them. Why have they ceased their quarrels? Has my brother been subdued by a resounding slap from my father? I find myself utterly perplexed. Lin Luoyao's tears began to cascade down like pearls. She bit her lip tightly, her gaze filled with restraint. Uncle, please do not strike Ian. I merely wish for the child within me to have a complete family. According to the narrative, my brother, upon hearing these words, would be filled with emotion and guilt. He would storm away with the heroine, leaving our parents in a state of disappointment and heartache. Yet, instead, my brother turned and gazed at Lin Luoyao's belly. After a long pause, he hoarsely inquired, "Luoyao, can a child just 1 month old already show?" I was utterly astonished by this twist. I couldn't help but muse, goodness. When did my brother start to think critically? Isn't he supposed to be the most devoted second male lead? Could it be that he has realized Lin Luoyao is merely interested in his power? Or has he discovered that he is just a pawn in the drama between the main characters? My brother cast me a warning glance. I shrugged in response. What are you looking at me for? I am but an innocent bystander. Lin Luoyao appeared bewildered by my brother's inquiry. It seemed she, too, was perplexed as the situation unfolded in a manner contrary to her expectations. In a flurry, Lin Luoyao clutched her abdomen, her gaze evasive. Ayen, what are you saying? I just had a larger dinner. My brother frowned, his eyes fixed on her tightly held stomach. The more she concealed, the more suspicious it became. After all, my brother, Su Yen, was a paragon of business acumen. He would not be easily deceived by such trivial ruses. Taking a deep breath, he said, Luoyao, you should return home. I will contact you once I have resolved matters at home. Instantly, Lin Luoyao's expression crumbled into tears, her demeanor frail yet defiant. Yen, I have nowhere else to go.
It is just you and the child now.
I recalled how the original text described the female lead. A mother must be strong. Lin Luoyao thought of the child within her, and for the sake of the child's prosperous future, she resolved to endure humiliation and submit to Su Yen. Translated, Lin Luoyao's current mindset was, I will endure some grievances, while simultaneously putting you in a compromising position. Then, you will give me a few million, provide me with a house, and support my child. The female lead's acting deserves an Oscar. Will my brother's love-struck mind be once again duped by her? This foolish man is eager to wear the hat of infidelity that is so readily offered. What a misfortune for our family. Perhaps it was merely my illusion. But I sensed that my brother's expression was growing increasingly dark. My father finally decided to unleash his trump card. Su Yen, if you choose to leave with her today, I will cancel all your cards and announce at the board meeting that your entire inheritance will be given to your sister, Su Xingxing.
What?
Suddenly, I heard my name. My small face was filled with immense confusion. My brother showed little reaction to this statement, but Lin Luoyao's gaze turned towards me, filled with envy and resentment. Her complexion was pale, and she seemed on the verge of collapsing. Summoning her courage, she grasped my brother's hand. Yen, I know you will take responsibility for my child. Won't you? Even if Uncle cancels your cards, I remember you still have a villa in the north of the city. I awkwardly raised my hand to interrupt her. Last month on my birthday, my brother gifted that villa to me. My brother coolly shook off her hand and took 2 steps back. Luoyao, if I leave with you today, I will have nothing but 500 yuan to my name. Alternatively, I can transfer you a sum of money, and we will sever all ties. The choice is yours. Take your time to consider it. Lin Luoyao felt utterly wronged upon hearing these words. She stood at the doorway, tears glistening in her eyes. Why are you treating me this way? Why does she, Su Xingxing, get to enjoy a life of luxury since birth, while my child must suffer? How is this fair? I thought to myself. Dear sister, did I cause your pregnancy? Even my brother regarded her with a look reminiscent of someone questioning her sanity. He retrieved his phone from his pocket and pressed a few buttons. 500,000 has been transferred to you. Please do not come looking for me again. Lin Luoyao seemed poised to say something further. However, my mother interjected, Miss Lin, as a woman who has borne 2 children. I am acutely aware of what a month's pregnancy entails. If you insist on staying, so be it. Once the child is born, we shall conduct a paternity test. Should the results indicate that my son is not the biological father, we will pursue legal action to seek compensation for all damages. I was taken aback. My mother truly was formidable. Her words were a decisive blow. Although the narrative was veering increasingly off course, it was undeniably captivating. Lin Luoyao's complexion drained of color in an instant. She turned to leave, moving as if in a daze, deliberately dragging her feet while glancing back repeatedly. So obvious. Is my brother going to chase after her? Goodness, at this pace, she'll cover 50 meters in 10 minutes. Hurry, Su Yen, chase after her. If you delay, your beloved may run off with someone else. With a resounding thud, my brother slammed the door shut.
Oh.
The secondary male lead and the female protagonist have inexplicably accelerated their interaction. My brother sat beside the coffee table, fixating his gaze on me as though he could bore a hole through my face. Is he truly rattled by Lin Luoyao? At least this way. He won TB, wearing a green hat. Yet Lin Luoyao is not one to simply back down. It's wise to remain vigilant. My brother cleared his throat. Sheng Yu, before he could finish, he was interrupted. My father approached with a stack of documents, patting his shoulder. Xiao Yen. I shouldn't have struck you earlier. I apologize. My brother lowered his head. It's all right, Dad. It was my fault for being inconsiderate. How could there be lingering animosity between father and son? Although a handprint still marked my brother's face, a few exchanged words quickly restored their bond. My father placed the stack of documents on the coffee table and spoke slowly. This is the latest personnel transfer list. You may handle it as you see fit. I am getting old. The company will rely on you and Shengsheng moving forward. Shengsheng, come here and learn from your brother. I approached with a bag of chips, though I was merely putting on an act. Sigh, what is the use in learning this? Sooner or later, the Su Corporation will be brought down by the male lead. Isn't the male lead as fortune built upon stepping over our family to ascend to greatness? My father widened his eyes, incredulity etched on his face, as he turned to me. What did you just say? I was taken aback.
Huh. I didn't say anything.
I munched on the chips absent-mindedly, my attention drifting over the personnel transfer list. However, a very familiar name appeared above. The new design director.
Gu Lin.
I pondered for a few seconds, as if in deep meditation, and then it struck me. Goodness, Gu Lin. Isn't he the male lead? The original text merely glossed over how he brought down the Sioux Corporation, focusing instead on an elaborate tale of pursuing a wife. So, he infiltrated the company from within. My heart sank. It seemed my family's bankruptcy was imminent. Reluctantly, I surveyed my surroundings. Such a luxurious villa, I wondered how many more days I could enjoy it. And this soft, comfortable sofa was simply delightful. Just as I was lost in thought, my father's deep voice resonated. Sheng Sheng, starting tomorrow, you should go to the company for some practical experience, specifically in the design department. It felt as if a bolt of lightning had struck me. Me? Practical experience? In the design department? To be placed alongside that deranged male lead? Father, are you truly sending me to my doom? As the male lead, Gu Lin was not only entangled with Lin Luoyao, but was also surrounded by numerous admirers. He indulged in flirting while maintaining an air of aloofness, neither rejecting nor accepting women, seemingly relishing the jealousy of his wives. He tacitly allowed them to undermine the female lead behind her back. In my opinion, he was nothing but a despicable character. And at this moment, this despicable character sat behind the desk, scrutinizing me. You are the new assistant to the director? I nodded. He frowned, yet a glimmer of smugness flickered in his eyes. Su Sheng Sheng, is it? Put away your little schemes. I have encountered many women like you.
What?
I slowly formed a question mark in my mind. He narrowed his eyes, a mocking smile playing on his lips. I admit you possess more beauty than many out there. And your choice of tight-fitting pants was clearly intended to entice me. I glanced down at myself. I wore the most ordinary pair of jeans, layered over thermal leggings, and a pair of long underwear. How could this possibly be considered alluring? I struggled to muster the words. You must be joking. He paused, his tone dripping with derision. Do you think I am unaware of your identity? Don't tell me that the daughter of the Sioux family is here merely by coincidence to be my assistant. My silence was deafening. What sort of ordinary, misguided man was he? No, you misunderstand. I truly came for practical experience. I harbor no ulterior motives regarding you. Rest assured. Gu Lin regarded me with an expression that clearly conveyed disbelief. At that moment, noise erupted from the door behind me. I thought I might finally be liberated, breathing a sigh of relief. But then the door swung open, and a piercing, venomous voice cut through the air. Su Sheng Sheng, I forbid you from seducing Brother Gu Lin. I turned in astonishment, meeting the furious, envious face of Lin Luoyao. In the next instant, she thrust her hand toward me with great force. I collided forcefully against the wall, a sharp pain radiating from my shoulder. Lin Luoyao glared at me with a malevolence that suggested she would relish the thought of flaying me alive. Su Sheng Sheng, how shameless can you be? Before I could utter a word, she pointed an accusatory finger at my nose. I just had a disagreement with Gu Lin. And you dare to come to his office and seduce him? How could Yan have such a reckless sister like you? I'll tell you this. Even if you are the daughter of the Sioux family, do not dare to think you can steal Gu Lin from me. He is not a man who covets power. Lin Luoyao's words seemed to please Gu Lin immensely. He smugly reassured her, Darling, please don't be upset. I would never be swayed by her. My heart belongs solely to you. He reveled in this two women vying for one man scenario. At that moment, a new contender entered the fray. My brother, Su Yan, appeared at the door, holding a cup of milk tea and a bag of snacks. Brother? I called out to him while pondering. Is this scene in the original book? It seems my brother and Gu Lin hadn't met before. They only encountered each other after the protagonist gave birth, right? What now? The child hasn't even been born yet. And the biological father and the stepfather have crossed paths. My brother's expression darkened as he glanced at my shoulder. Upon seeing him, Lin Luoyao found her courage. Yan, what brings you here? Did you bring my favorite bubble pudding milk tea? Su Sheng Sheng has gone too far. Publicly trying to seduce Gu Lin in the office. Fortunately, I arrived in time to discipline my sister, he declared. Gu Lin scrutinized my brother. His tone edged with suspicion. Darling, how do you know President Su? How does he know you love bubble milk tea? Do you have private dealings with him? Such a scene of rivalry over the heroine is something I have witnessed numerous times in novels, but experiencing it firsthand was an entirely different matter. What will my brother do? Will he angrily confront Lin Luoyao and Gu Lin about their relationship and then take her away?
No.
It's also possible he might feign strength, forcing Lin Luoyao to choose between him and Gu Lin, only to be left heartbroken afterward.
Ouch.
That woman's strength is formidable. She really hurt me with that collision. As I observed my brother's increasingly dark expression, I waited in anticipation. What direction would the plot take? In the next moment, he approached me. He set the snacks on the floor and gently helped me from the wall to a chair. I noticed with delight that the bag contained all my favorite treats. He then picked up the office phone and dialed. Hello, 110? I would like to report an incident. Someone is causing a disturbance at the company and has intentionally harmed another. As soon as he finished speaking, Lin Luoyao's eyes widened in disbelief. Ah Yen, what are you doing? I was equally bewildered. Is the narrative unfolding in this manner? The delicate heroine is about to be taken away by the most devoted second male lead? While we awaited the police, my brother inserted a straw into the milk tea and handed it to me. Once more, I tore open a bag of chips from the snack pouch and brought it to my lips. I was initially touched, but my brother's voice interrupted the moment. His brow furrowed in disapproval as he exclaimed, Su Xingxing, how is it that you, an adult, can still be bullied? I had intended for you to enjoy some snacks until the end of the workday and then leave. Yet here you are, injuring your shoulder. Next time someone dares to touch you, you better retaliate, do you hear me? Honestly, you have a knack for causing trouble. Lin Luoyao's complexion fluctuated between pale and flushed as she bit her lip in distress. Ian, let me explain. The situation is not as you perceive it. I merely wished to help you discipline your sister, and did not intend to harm her. My brother grimaced in disdain. You think you can teach her a lesson? Do you believe you are in a position to do so? Alas, in this world, only brothers are truly dependable. A sister with a brother is akin to a treasure. Gu Lin could no longer remain silent and interjected on Lin Luoyao's behalf. Su, you are being excessively aggressive. Su Shengsheng merely bumped into her. It was nothing serious. Yet you called the police. Now Luoyao will be taken away publicly by the police. How will she manage in the future as a young woman? Why not do this instead? Let her apologize to Su Shengsheng, and we can consider the matter resolved. I found myself bewildered by the male protagonist's perspective, utterly astonished. Fortunately, my brother dismissed him entirely, treating his words as inconsequential. 10 minutes later, the police arrived. After reviewing the surveillance footage and asking a few straightforward questions, they prepared to take Lin Luoyao away. She struggled, collapsing before my brother, her lips pale, eyes rimmed in red, glimmering with defiant tears.
Ian,
do you truly despise me so much that you would ruin my life? The female lead displayed a certain dedication to her role, indeed. Even on the brink of being taken in, she was still performing her tragic act. Such a scene struck even the seasoned officers as absurd. Ms. Lin, the evidence of your harm against Ms. Su is irrefutable. We are merely taking you back to the station for educational purposes. This has nothing to do with Mr. Su. Yet Lin Luoyao covered her ears. I won't listen. I won't listen. Before being led away, she shot me a fierce glare, as if to say, this is all your fault. I will hold you accountable. I refused to back down. Approaching her, I gently patted her abdomen, a smile gracing my lips as I whispered, Little one, your stepfather no longer wants you. Lin Luoyao was infuriated, her anger palpable. After she was taken away, 2 security guards approached, each grasping Gu Lin's arms. He flailed his legs in the air, his expression exaggerated. Let me go. What are you doing? My brother lifted his eyelids slightly. Director Gu, you are terminated. Gu Lin's face was one of disbelief as he retorted angrily. On what grounds? I did not strike anyone. My brother offered a nonchalant smile. Indeed, you did not strike anyone. However, someone has anonymously reported you for sexually harassing female employees. My brother, as always, was impeccable in his reasoning. Lin Luoyao underwent 7 days of educational criticism at the police station. I presumed that upon her release, she would come knocking on my door to settle the score. Yet, she seemed to have vanished into thin air, leaving no trace. After my brother Gu Lin was dismissed, he too disappeared. A vague unease settled within me, akin to the calm before a tempest. Once my shoulder healed, I resolved to take another stroll around the company. I did not notify my family in advance. Upon my arrival at the office, I found my father and brother engaged in a meeting. I took a seat by the entrance and waited. Through the glass, I noticed my father's furrowed brow, while my brother spoke with grave seriousness. This crisis we face is no small matter, but the more they oppress us, the less we can afford to lose our composure. Though I do not know who leaked such vital information, I shall find this individual and ensure they face the legal consequences they deserve. I firmly believe that with our board united, we will surely overcome this challenge. It seemed that the company was indeed in turmoil. However, according to the original narrative, the bankruptcy of the Sue family would not occur for another 6 months. Could it be that the deviation in the plot had precipitated their financial crisis? I could not simply sit idly by. I ruminated on the storyline concerning the group's bankruptcy, seeking a breakthrough. In the original text, the company's crisis arose when a rival family suddenly acquired some of the core technology of the new product. They then produced a batch of inferior imitations at a low price, flooding the market. In the short term, customers were unable to discern the quality difference and opted for the cheaper, substandard goods. Consequently, the cash flow for the Sue group stagnated, severing their financial chain. Initially, my mother intended to sell her stocks to provide urgent assistance. However, the stocks in her possession had plummeted in value. To navigate through this impending bankruptcy crisis, a substantial amount of liquid capital was essential. I resolved to approach my mother first for assistance. Upon returning home, I found her in her study, anxiously staring at her computer. I overheard her muttering, "What can we do? It keeps falling." As I leaned closer, I confirmed my suspicions. Among the 10 stocks she had invested in, 9 were in the red. Determined, my mother prepared to sell them all. At that moment, I noticed one particular stock, Heiress Film Industry, ISNT, that the company invested in by the third male lead of the film. He hasn't made his appearance yet, but based on the timeline, it should be soon. If all goes well, this stock will undoubtedly hit its ceiling within 10 days. But how can I persuade my mother not to sell it? I have little knowledge about these matters, and even if I told her, she likely wouldn't believe me. My mother's hand, clutching the mouse, halted abruptly. She gazed at me with a look of disbelief, her words caught in her throat. A pang of guilt washed over me. It's all my fault for being so lackadaisical, merely indulging in food and drink at home. At such a critical juncture, my presence at home is of no help, and my words carry little weight. My mother took a deep breath. Then, with a gentle hand, she affectionately patted my head, offering both encouragement and comfort. "My dear, could you help me decide which stocks to sell and which to keep?" I declared without a moment's hesitation, "Let us retain Heiress Film Television. Sell off everything else." She smiled and replied, "All right, I shall heed my daughter's advice." I had anticipated a quiet 10-day wait, believing that once Heiress stock soared, the crisis faced by the Sue family would be resolved. However, to my dismay, the company suffered yet another grievous blow, this time at the hands of Lin Luoyao. She took to social media, beseeching assistance from the online community. In her video, her face was awash with despair, tears cascading down as she lamented, "I am compelled to resort to this means to seek help. I am 4 months pregnant, yet the father of my child has abandoned us. I can endure hunger and cold, but the child within me cannot bear such suffering. As a mother, I am filled with guilt. I cannot provide my child with a healthy and prosperous environment. I truly love my child and cannot bear the thought of losing him. I implore you all, save this little life within me, so he may safely enter this world." The video concluded with a blurred montage, yet I could discern that it was filmed at my doorstep. The man featured in the footage was my brother, Su Yan, tenderly holding Lin Luoyao's hand, promising, "I will take responsibility for the child in your womb." Immediately following, my father struck him across the face, and then my brother told Lin Luoyao he wished to sever all ties with her. This clandestine recording, coupled with malicious editing, was executed with remarkable precision. The comment section overflowed with vitriol. Netizens effortlessly uncovered my brother's identity, prompting an even more fervent response. "Scoundrel. Utterly disgusting. He deceived this girl into pregnancy, and then abandoned her. Why doesn't such a man just perish? His father is no better, only enabling his son's evasion of responsibility. In my opinion, the girl should have more self-respect. If she hadn't engaged with him in that manner, could she have become pregnant? Is the individual above unwell? Are we assigning blame to the victim? The male counterpart is the heir of the Sue group. How could he possibly bring home a woman in such a condition? In essence, this is merely a case of leveraging one's power to oppress the vulnerable, a blight upon society." In an instant, the Sue family became the target of public scorn. Despite our annual philanthropic contributions exceeding $1 million to relief foundations, we were now vilified due to the slander of one woman. casting my father as the malevolent capitalist in the eyes of the internet. The public outrage escalated alarmingly. Many partners, succumbing to the pressure of public opinion, opted to terminate their contracts with our group. At this rate, the company would face insolvency within a mere 10 days. I resolved to take action. Thus, armed with a voice recorder, I ventured to the company. Lin Luoyao was indeed at the entrance, while the male lead, Gu Lin, had become an unemployed drifter. It appeared she was resolute in her intent to cling to my brother for the sake of her unborn child. The security guard barred her entry, and she pitifully wiped her tears, pleading, "Please, dear security guard, I merely wish to catch a glimpse of Yan. Just let me in. I promise, once I see Yan, I will leave." I approached her from behind and signaled to the guard. The security guard hesitated for a moment, but eventually allowed her to enter. The 5th floor. My brother's office. Lin Luoyao appeared indifferent to my presence beside her. She bit her lower lip, her eyes swollen like walnuts. Yan, why are you so cruel to me? Do you not know that I have been crying until midnight every day during this time? Upon hearing this, I felt perplexed. Does she stop crying right at midnight? Is it precisely at 12 o'clock? Why does she watch the clock while crying? My brother grimaced in disgust. The things you've posted online have severely impacted both the company's and my personal reputation. If you do not delete them, I will resort to legal action. She protested. Yan, you were never like this before. You clearly promised to love me forever and take care of me. My brother took a deep breath, deciding to confront her directly. Lin Luoyao, the child you are carrying is not mine. You are 4 months pregnant, but I woke up beside you after drinking too much. And that was clearly a month ago. Setting aside whether I even touched you that day, the child inside you is someone else's. Why should I take responsibility? This is akin to a dung beetle wearing a mask, shameless. I was taken aback. There was a twist. It turned out my brother had been drunk, leading him to believe he had been intimate with Lin Luoyao. It seemed this woman was far more calculating than I had imagined. Lin Luoyao was utterly flustered and decided to throw caution to the wind. I don't care. You said you would take responsibility, so you must keep your word. I have nowhere to live now. I can't afford food. I simply cannot survive. I will delete the video, but only if you give me a sum of money. My brother suppressed his fury. Haven't I already given you 500,000? Lin Luoyao blinked innocently and replied matter-of-factly, I've already spent it. I needed to buy clothes, bags, get my nails done, and just the hotel costs a fortune per night, not to mention meals. That amount is insufficient. My brother impatiently inquired. Then how much do you intend to ask for? Lin Luoyao boldly raised her demand. At least 10 million. Raising a child is incredibly expensive. To enroll them in the best kindergarten and elementary school requires this amount. My son cannot be inferior to others. This might not even be enough. And if it falls short, I'll come back to you. I could no longer bear to listen. Sister, do you think our family is a bunch of fools or an ATM? You carry Gu Lin's child. Why not seek money from him instead of my brother? Let me tell you, the 500,000 we previously gave you was already exceedingly generous, and we will not offer you a single cent more. Lin Luoyao glared at me in anger. If you don't give me money, I won't delete the video. I smirked. Very well, then don't delete it. Her gaze faltered under my stare before she turned to leave, cursing me as a shameless, crazy person. That evening, I uploaded the entire recording online. The following day, the winds of public opinion shifted dramatically. Lin Luoyao became the target of online vitriol. I can't believe there are people so shameless. What a disgraceful act. Showing off like that. I cannot fathom this woman's reasoning for seeking money while carrying another child. So it wasn't a lack of funds, but rather an indulgence in fashion and luxury? I can't believe I donated 100 yuan to her just the other day. What a fraud. Return my living expenses. With her own hands and feet, how can she not support a child? Lin Luoyao continued to argue with netizens in the comments. Do you understand a mother's love? I seek funds solely for my child. Why is it acceptable for Su Xingxing to buy clothes and bags while I cannot? It's merely 100 yuan. I could not care less. If you want it back, take it. Earning money to raise a child? Work is exhausting. I'm not interested in that. Is there a job where I can earn without leaving my home? Her actions only intensified the backlash from the online community. Moreover, having revealed her face in a previous video, netizens delved deeper, and naturally, the child's biological father, Gu Lin, was not spared from scrutiny. I had assumed he lost his job after my brother dismissed him, but to my surprise, he was now employed at the rival company in a significant position. The truth seemed poised to emerge. During dinner, my mother rushed into the living room with her laptop, visibly agitated. It's rising. It's really rising. My father and brother looked perplexed. What's rising? My mother slapped her thigh in excitement. The stocks. The one our Xingxing mentioned, Hengxi Media, has hit its limit up for 3 consecutive days. My father picked up some food and replied, "What is so surprising about that? I recall you didn't invest much in that stock." My mother shot him a glare.
Who said that?
After Xingxing mentioned it, I sold off my other stocks and invested everything into this one. Since it's all a gamble, might as well go for a big one. The 3 of us widened our eyes in astonishment, and my father's chopsticks froze midair. Truly, my mother possesses remarkable audacity. A heroine indeed. I bow to you. Thanks to the stock situation, the crisis at Suez was finally averted. Meanwhile, my brother had not been idle. Upon discovering Gu Lin's employment at the rival firm, he promptly launched an investigation. Eventually, he uncovered critical clues in the documents left behind in Gu Lin's office. As expected, Gu Lin, as a director, held significant technical materials. Although not exhaustive, they were sufficient to yield considerable advantages for the rival company. In fact, it appeared that he had employed such underhanded tactics to bring about Suez's downfall in the original narrative. Once the perpetrator was identified, the next steps were straightforward. In the business arena, my brother is known for his decisive methods. He swiftly gathered evidence of Gu Lin leaking company secrets and presented it to the authorities. Furthermore, he leveraged his connections to ensure Gu Lin became a notable case of financial crime on a legal channel. On the television screen, Gu Lin appeared disheveled as he was escorted into a police vehicle. He murmured, "How could this happen? I don't want to go to prison. I am on the verge of being promoted to general manager. There must be some mistake." I rolled my eyes and turned off the television. There is indeed a problem. Your mind is the issue. Do you truly believe that by assuming the role of a protagonist, you can attain success through any means? Pray. This is a society governed by law. Soon, the court's verdict was delivered. Gu Lin was not only ordered to compensate nearly 10 million yuan for the company's losses, but he also faced a 3-year prison sentence. Lin Luoyao could no longer remain passive. She had lost my brother, her support. Now, even the biological father of her child, Gu Lin, was destined to serve time. Lin Luoyao knelt at my doorstep, tears streaming down her face. "Ayen, I beg you, spare brother Gu Lin. He did not intend for this to happen. Your company is doing well despite everything. Can you not show some leniency? Moreover, brother Gu Lin acted out of frustration after being dismissed." I chuckled. It's amusing how you seek relief from the consequences of his actions. Every year, countless individuals lose their jobs without resorting to crime. Lin Luoyao sobbed, her voice trembling. "What am I to do? What will happen to my child? He hasn't even been born and already lacks a father. Why must my life be so difficult?" Difficult? You are not suffering. You are merely indulging in a fanciful desire. You eat from one bowl while eyeing another. When my brother held power and influence, you clung to him. Now that the Su family has fallen, you return to Gu Lin. The machinations are almost too blatant to bear. My brother, his expression darkened, impatiently urged her to leave. Lin Luoyao clung to my brother's leg, refusing to let go. She gazed down at her abdomen, lost in thought.
Moments later.
She suddenly pulled out a fruit knife from her bosom and lunged at me in a frenzy. With reddened eyes, Lin Luoyao screamed hysterically, "Su Xingxing, it's you. You must have incited my relationship with a yen. You shameless wretch. You already possess everything. Why do you seek to ruin me? I merely wish for my child to have a good life. What wrong have I committed? Why is it that you were born a wealthy heiress while I, a useless failure, must suffer? You should perish." The scene spiraled into chaos. My brother, quick on his feet, seized the knife, but inadvertently cut himself in the process. "Brother."
Xiao Yan.
My parents and I were horrified. Fortunately, Lin Luoyao, being pregnant, lacked the strength, and my brother's injury was not deep. We breathed a collective sigh of relief. My father immediately pulled out his phone to call the police, while my mother, like a protective hen, stood guard before my brother and me, fearing Lin Luoyao would act out again. Yet Lin Luoyao collapsed to the ground, seemingly having experienced a miscarriage. She clutched her abdomen in agony, beads of cold sweat forming on her forehead. I vaguely noticed a stain of red on her jeans. Ultimately, Lin Luoyao was taken away by an ambulance. By the time the police arrived, she was on the brink of unconsciousness. Lin Luoyao had lost the child. Moreover, she was sentenced to 3 years in prison for attempted murder. Originally, she could have shared moments with her brother Gulin, working alongside him at the sewing machine. Yet, her mental state deteriorated following her miscarriage. Lin Luoyao was subsequently confined to a psychiatric hospital. According to the caregiver, she rambled incessantly, murmuring, "I am the heroine. All men should love me. How could they possibly reject me? Where is my child? I need him to reconnect with Brother Gulin. I am destined to be the wife of a general manager. I refuse to linger here." The male lead and the heroine ultimately crossed paths, albeit within the confines of the mental institution. The acclaimed actor had taken on a new role requiring him to portray a character with multiple personalities. To refine his craft, he chose to observe the behaviors of psychiatric patients, and the heroine became one of his subjects. However, I suspect he would not fall for this woman, whose words were steeped in madness. Once the dust settled, my father cast me into the company for further training, this time in the advertising department. My supervisor assigned me a rather leisurely workload, allowing me to indulge in culinary delights and, during my free time, admire the male models. However, I was unprepared to encounter the actor there. He had become the spokesperson for a subsidiary brand of the Sue Group. Upon seeing him, I was momentarily stunned. Is this really the male lead Fuziyu? His looks. Why is he the secondary lead? He appears even more captivating in person than on television. Fuziyu's face flushed with a subtle hue. But is his physique truly as impressive as in the photographs? It seems that celebrities' abs are always on display. Are his real? How I wish I could touch them. I was so absorbed in my thoughts that I failed to notice Fuziyu's expression growing increasingly peculiar. He suddenly interjected, breaking my reverie. My abs aren't like that. I nodded. Oh.
Wait.
Can he hear my thoughts?